Hello! Today I'll be talking about Samurott, the final evolution of Oshawott who evolves into Dewott who evolves at level 36. Samurott is also the first Water-type final evolution and third stage Pokemon introduced in Gen 5. If one considers Hisuian Samurott, the 503rd Pokemon, is the first Water-dark and Dark Pokemon evolution, final evolution, and third stage Pokemon introduced in Gen 5. Regardless, it's also the first alternate and regional form of a Gen 5 Pokemon. Its previous PYT dates are July 13th, 1997, May 3rd, 2000, February 22nd, 2003, December 13th, 2005, October 3rd, 2008, July 25th, 2011, May 15th, 2014, March 5th, 2017, December 25th, 2019, and October 15th, 2022. If it hasn't become obvious at this point, Samurott is my least favorite of the 10 forms of Gen 5 starter Pokemon, as of the filming of this. It's not because it's a terrible design. Both are well designed. They just happen to be the final evolution of Oshawott, which they absolutely shouldn't be. As I mentioned in the Oshawott video, it's too much of an extreme from its pre-evolutions. If Dewott had done more to bridge the gap, perhaps I wouldn't feel this way, but it didn't. It abandons the Scowl Shops, becomes a quadruped, and becomes more defensive than offensive. This Pokemon was clearly designed to be cool, not make sense with the rest of the line. I can't imagine the designers ever thought, if I was a player, and my Dewott was evolving, what would I want to see next? If they had done that, we would have gotten something better. It's not like they would have had to abandon the samurai element to make a better Dewott evolution. If they had just made the current design bipedal, that still would have been better. Sure, it still would not have been the most cohesive, but it would have been much more rewarding to see that instead of the current designs of Samurott. Speaking of which, Hisuian Samurott's design does a great job of adapting Samurott's design for both the dark type and the time it's in. Since I haven't played the Gen 5 games, Hisuian Samurott is how I most know Samurott, even though I haven't played Pokemon Legends Arceus either. Anyway, let's get into the Bulbapedia article. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we're talking about Samurott, the formidable Pokemon, whose number is 0503. This is Samurott. This is what it looks like. This is Hisuian Samurott. This is what it looks like. So this is what I do if there's two forms here. Got the bigger form, which is the central image, and the smaller one, which is the alternate form. Types here, so you can see the two different types of them. So for non-Hisuian Samurott, it's water. For Hisuian Samurott, it's water dark. So I said non-Hisuian Samurott instead of the Unnovan Samurott because Samurott exists outside of the Unova region. Abilities, Torrent, regardless of form. Shell Armor is non-Hisuian Samurott's hidden ability. Sharpness is Hisuian Samurott's hidden ability. So usually it's a change of an ability rather than a hidden ability, so this is very interesting. Although sometimes it has different hidden abilities. Gender ratio is 87.5% male or 12.5% female. Catch rate is 45 or 11.9%. Breeding is a group field, hatch time 20 cycles. So for height and weight here, normally it would have two different heights for the two different forms, but I guess it's the same height regardless, so they put it in once. So in this particular case, I would say its height is 4'11" or 1.5 meters regardless. Its weight as non-Hisuian Samurott is 208.6 pounds or 94.6 kilograms. And as Hisuian Samurott, it's 128.3 pounds or 58.2 kilograms. Base experience yield is 238. Leveling rate is medium slow. EV yield is 3, so you can see that it's different depending on the form here. So for non-Hisuian Samurott, it's 3 in special attack, but for Hisuian Samurott, it's 3 in attack. Shape is that, footprint is that, Pokédex color is blue, and base friendship is 70. Samurott is a water-type Pokemon introduced in Gen 5. It evolves from Dewott starting at level 36. It is the final form of Oshawott in Hisui. Samurott has a dual-type water/dark regional form. It evolves from Dewott starting at level 36. It is the final form of Oshawott in the Hisui region. Biology, Samurott is a quadrupedal Pokemon resembling a river otter or sea lion. Its head, dorsal coat, and limbs are royal blue, and its underbelly is dull bluish-gray. It has pointed canine teeth and a red nose, and its eyes have white sclera and circular red irises. Long white whiskers resembling mustaches extend from its snout and lower jaw. Samurott possesses 3 black claws on each limb and a fin-like tail resembling a war fan. Samurott's head, limbs, and tail are adorned with cream-colored armor resembling seashells. The armor on its head resembles a spiked conch shell. This helmet-like armor is bulbous in the back and tapers into a spear-like horn in the front. Segmented armor resembling bracers covers each of Samurott's limbs. The 4 limbs bracers contain shell swords called scimitars. The 2 lower segments of these bracers serve as scabbards for these scimitars, and the upper segment and spike are the scimitars' blade and handle, respectively. So, Samurott using Razor Shell with its scimitar. In battle, Samurott can stand on its hind limbs and use its scimitars to fight. In the time it takes a foe to blink, Samurott can draw attack with and sheathe the scimitars attached to its front legs. It is said that Samurott can fell an opponent in one swing, and that it can silence foes with a glare or a howl. Samurott is a master of a sword-drawing art called Ai Jutsu. Samurott leads its group with strict leadership and will mercilessly thrash those who do not follow its rules with the group. Forms. This is a subsection that appears when there are alternate forms for a Pokemon. In this case, it's a regional form. So it has all this information about the regional form, how it differs from the main one, and it'll have a picture of it towards the bottom. Forms. Samurott has a regional form, Hisuian Samurott. Hisuian Samurott is a rare regional variant of Samurott native to the Hisui region. The color of its coat and the shape of its body are similar to its Unovan counterpart, but the texture of its whiskers as well as the texture and color of its shell armor are quite different. Its whiskers are wavy, as opposed to the straight whiskers of Unovan Samurott, and the lower set of whiskers are much longer. The shell armor covering its head and limbs are black with red accents. The shell on its head features 2 lateral spines, absent in Unovan Samurott, and the spiny anterior horn is crooked and wavy. Hisuian Samurott's bracers have sharper, more curved edges than those of Unovan Samurott, as do its scimitars, which have wavy blades. Hisuian Samurott has 1 less layer of shell armor on its hind limbs than Unovan Samurott. The armored portion of its tail is also longer and wavier than its Unovan counterpart. Another comparison of its Unovan counterpart is it lacks its chest marking. Its claws are red. Okay, it doesn't look like they've added the image to this section. I don't know why. Hisuian Samurott is said to have a cold and hard-hearted nature and is deft with its shell blades. Unlike its Unovan counterpart, which prefers to fight fair, Hisuian Samurott will do anything to win a battle, and prefers to use tricks, surprise attacks, and cheap shots. It remains still and silent until it sees an opponent. Then, in the blink of an eye, Hisuian Samurott draws its scimitars and thrusts them at its enemies. The attacks Hisuian Samurott unleashes are likened to the ceaseless crashing of waves, and can confuse and overwhelm opponents. The wounds inflicted by Hisuian Samurott are said to take many years to heal. Hisuian Samurott is the only known Pokemon capable of learning the move Ceaseless Edge. Evolution, Samurott evolves from Dewott and is the final form of Oshawott. In Hisui, Samurott has a regional form that evolves from Dewott and is the final form of Oshawott. So Oshawott, Dewott, non-Hisuian Samurott, and Hisuian Samurott. Hisuian Samurott using its scimitar. See that on this card art here. Game data, NPC appearances. Pokebark 2, Wonders Beyond. Samurott is the area keeper of the Cove area. He is Oshawott's superior and resides at Seasong Beach. Pokedex entries in Gen 5, Black. 1 swing of the sword incorporated in its armor can fell an opponent. A simple glare from one of them quiets everybody. White, part of the armor on its anterior legs becomes a giant sword. Its cry alone is enough to intimidate most enemies. Black 2 and White 2. In the time it takes for a foe to blink, it can draw and sheath the scimitars attached to its front legs. In Gen 6, X is Black 2 and White 2's entry. Y is Black's entry. Omega Ruby is Black 2, White 2, and X's entry. Alpha Sapphire is Black and Y's entry. In Gen 8, for Hisuian Samurott and Legends Arceus, Hard of Heart and Deft of Blade, this rare form of Samurott is a product of the Pokemon's evolution in the region of Hisui. Its turbulent blows crash into foes like ceaseless pounding waves. In Gen 9, Scarlet, a master of a sword-drawing art called Eijutsu. Samurott settles its battles with a single swing of either large sword sheathed in its 4-legged armor. Violet, Samurott leads its group strictly. Those who do not follow its rules receive a merciless thrashing. This is Samurott in the Blueberry Pokedex. You can see it. It looks like to be in the storm or something with the scimitar out. That's fun. Game locations. Side game locations. Okay, got Samurott and Poke Park 2 Wonders Beyond. Got the actual locations now. In events. Held items for Hisuian Samurott and Legends Arceus. Normal, it has the Citrus Berry 35% of the time, Kingsley 15% of the time, and grid items by level. Alpha, XP Candy L 100% of the time, Seed of Mastery 40% of the time, and grid items by level. I still don't know how the math works. Stats, base stats. When it has multiple forms that have different base stats, what I do is I compare them. But first, there's this note here in the Hisuian Samurott section. Due to the different way stats are calculated in Pokemon Legends Arceus, exact minimum and maximum stats are not shown in this table. HP 95. Hisuian Samurott has 90. Attack 100. This form has 108. Defense 85. This one has a defense of 80. Special attack 108. This one has 100. Special defense 70. This one has a special defense of 65. Speed 70. Speed of 85. They both have a total of 528. So for type effectiveness, if the alternate form has a different type, like it does in this case, we compare them. So non-Hisuian Samurott is damaged normally by normal, fighting, flying, poison, ground, rock, bug, ghost, psychic, dragon, dark, and fairy. Hisuian Samurott is damaged normally by normal, flying, poison, ground, rock, and dragon. So the ones that stay the same between the two are normal, flying, poison, ground, rock, and dragon, while fighting, bug, psychic, dark, and fairy are not shared between them. Non-Hisuian Samurott is weak to grass and electric for double, while Hisuian Samurott is weak to fighting, bug, grass, electric, and fairy all for double, so it kept the grass and electric but added fighting, bug, and fairy. Non-Hisuian Samurott is immune to nothing, while Hisuian Samurott is immune to psychic. Non-Hisuian Samurott is resistant to steel, fire, water, and ice, all for half, while Hisuian Samurott is resistant to ghost, steel, fire, water, ice, and dark, all for half. So they all say the same, but it adds ghost and dark. Notes in the Hisuian Samurott box here. If Miracle Eye is used by an opponent or this Pokemon is given a ring target, the effectiveness of psychic type moves is 1. So go from 0 to 1. This condition is a move or an item. Those can also affect type effectiveness. Learn Step by leveling up. For Samurott, we'll do the Evo here and then go down to 36. So upon evolution, it gets Slash. 39 Encore, 46 Aqua Tail, 51 Retaliate, 58 Sword Stance, and 63 Hydro Pump. For Hisuian Samurott, we'll do this Evo here and then go down to 39. So upon evolution, it gets Ceaseless Edge, 39 Encore, 46 Aqua Tail, 51 Retaliate, 58 Sword Stance, and 63 Hydro Pump. By TM, we're skipping for Samurott, but not for Hisuian Samurott, because it has a different typing than its pre-evolutions. So TM, 001 Takedown, 6 Scary Face, 7 Protect, 11 Water Pulse, 18 Thief, 22 Chilling Water, 25 Facade, 27 Aerial Ace, 28 Bulldoze, 30 Snarl, 32 Swift, 34 Icy Wind, 43 Fling, 46 Avalanche, 47 Endure, 50 Rain Dance, 52 Snowscape, 53 Smart Strike, 55 Dig, 57 False Swipe, 58 Brick Break, 65 Air Slash, 66 Body Slam, 70 Sleep Talk, 77 Waterfall, 81 Grass Knot, 85 Rest, 87 Taunt, 88 Swords Dance, 94 Dark Pulse, 103 Substitute, 105 X-Scissor, 106 Drill Run, 110 Liquidation, 122 Encore, 123 Surf, 130 Helping Hand, 135 Ice Beam, 142 Hydro Pump, 143 Blizzard, 145 Water Pledge, 152 Giga Impact, 154 Hydro Cannon, 163 Hyper Beam, 171 Terra Blast, 181 Knockoff, 184 Vacuum Wave, 196 Flip Turn, 199 Lash Out, 208 Whirlpool, 221 Throat Chop, and 229 Upper Hand. By breeding, we're skipping for both of them, since I think they're gonna be the same, and they should be anyway. By prior evolution, there's nothing for non-Hisuian Samurott. Hisuian Samurott has... So, you can see what this looks like now. It shows that it has it from both stages, Oshawott and Dewott. Since it is just the one move, I'll read it all. So, the move... Soak, it's a water-type status move. It has no power, its accuracy is 100%, and PB has 20. Side game data for Samurott, you got all this. Pokepark 2, Wonders Beyond, in the Pokepark pad entry. He is the area keeper of the Cove area. He is very calm and serious. All Pokemon in the area respect him. Got all this. Hisuian Samurott, got that. Evolution data, Oshawott, level 17 Dewott. Level 36 outside of Hisui, non-Hisuian Samurott. Level 36 in Hisui, Hisuian Samurott. Sprites here, so probably darker colors all around, maybe a little bit more simplified for the sprites. Shiny is this, I guess, pink for the shell. I guess that makes sense. So it's been for the last couple generations. This is this kind of goldish tan color. Yes. And the blue is a lot darker. So the animation, it looks like it comes together, it has the legs come together, and it's just standing. In Gen 6, you get these models, probably a lot wider and taller and stuff. Yeah, pretty good adaptation, I'd say. The beard's a lot longer, that's for sure. In Gen 7, not really much changes. In Gen 8, so we can see Hisuian Samurott here, and it's shiny, that's pretty cool. It's white, kind of gold, I guess. And these are white and gold homes. Get these models, and compare all 4 of them here. An animation, Samurott and Pokemon Horizons, the series. Got all the Pokedex entries in Black and White, episode 94, in Ash's Pokedex. Samurott, the formidable Pokemon, and the final evolved form of Oshawott. Protected by armor, Samurott can defeat opponents with one sword swipe. Its glare can silence them as well. Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 animated trailer. Samurott in the animated trailer with the trainer, I guess. In the manga, Samurott and Pokemon Adventures. Got all this. In the TCG. I read this first point in the Superior video. I read the second point in the Oshawott video. Samurott appears in Pokemon Battle Chess BW version. It acts as a bishop piece in chess, but can also move 1 square directly forward. Samurott in Pokemon Battle Chess. I read the 4th and 5th points in the Oshawott video. Unova Samurott is the only Pokemon to not be available in any Gen 8 game while its pre-evolutions are available. In Pokemon Legends Arceus' internal code, Hisuian Samurott's hidden ability is shell armor instead of sharpness. Origin, Samurott is based on an otter, although compared to its pre-evolved form, Samurott seems to be based more on the Eurasian otter than the sea otter. Samurott's design is also heavily based on a sea lion and an armored samurai. While it was decided that Oshawott would be based on a sea otter, the designers had issues in creating a fully evolved form, which was more interesting than just a bigger otter standing on 2 legs. At that point, Yusuke Omura went to see an otter exhibit at the Sunshine Aquarium in Ikebukuro, but his attention was rather caught by the strength displayed by some sea lions at a nearby sea lion show, and thus Omura decided to incorporate elements of the latter animal into the design. Appearance-wise, Samurott's tail may be based on a Japanese war fan. The helmet over its head appears to be based on the rare spined Murex shell. The markings on its chest make it reminiscent of a giant otter. Its ability to withdraw attack with and return its blade may be a reference to Iaido, a Japanese martial art that uses similar swordplay in combat. Its whiskers bear a great deal of similarity to the facial hair found in some menpo, a type of facial armor employed by samurai. Samurott's evolutionary line as a whole is based on the lifespan of a samurai, from a child, Oshawott, to a young samurai, Duat, to a military commander, Samurott. Superior Ember and Samurott's evolutionary lines are collectively based on Western, Chinese, and Japanese culture respectively to represent the diversity of the Unova region. Hisuian Samurott may be based on the extinct Japanese otter and the sea otter. Its anthropomorphic aspect may come from Ronin, which are samurai without a lord or master to serve. The kanji from Ronin literally means wave, which might have been the inspiration for the wave-like designs all over Hisuian Samurott's body. Being a Ronin was regarded as dishonorable in traditional samurai culture, and many of them ended up becoming mercenaries, which may explain Hisuian Samurott's dark type. The scimitars it keeps on its arm resemble flame-bladed swords, also known as wave-bladed swords, such as the Flamberg or Chris. Name origin, Samurott may be a combination of samurai and otter. Dai Kenki may be a combination of Dai, great, Ken, sword, Kai, demon, and Kenki, devilish swordsman. In the languages, see also references, external links to the Suian forms. let's move on. Now let's watch Samurott's first scene in the anime. Before I begin, I'm watching the 14th movie, and in the section, I mention that the scene exists in both versions of the film. While this is technically true, there's one difference from the version that I'm watching, which is that the Golurk in the background is shiny. Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we are watching the 14th movie. The scene exists in both versions of the film. In this film, Ash Ketchum, the main character, and his traveling companions, Iris and Salon, as well as his faithful Pokemon Pikachu, have come to Eindhoek Town, where the three have entered a competition, and Ash is currently fighting a trainer who's sending out his Samurott. Send out his Tepe. Ash. His Samurott. The trainer.
So Tepig, a fire type, is up against
Iris,
Samurott, a water type.
I'm
Pikachu,
afraid that this battle is going to leave a bitter
Salon.
aftertaste in Ash's mouth.
Big.
Tepig, don't worry. We'll show him how strong we are.
Big.
K-Tepig, use Ember!
Oh, that's cool.
Not very effective.
Big.
All right, use Tackle! Samurott, Razor Shell, let's go!
Ooh.
Oh my...
I would say that's Samurott's first scene in the anime. Let's move on. Now let's see why other people love Samurott. Now let's look at fan art. Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. No, we're sent in fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you who aren't familiar with the series, what we do is we go through these images until we find an image that doesn't contain a Samurott. This is Samurott 4K wallpaper by Constanza AI. It's AI. This is In the Marsh by Mark331. So this trainer and the Pokemon here. We've got Hisuian Samurott, Mega Swampert, Mega Subtile, Therian Form, Landorus, Hisuian Decidueye, and Poltergeist. Very interesting. This is Sea Otter Discipline and Formidable by Sparkplug USA. So I did this one yesterday, but we can do it again. So I got all the members of the Oshawott line. So Oshawott, Duat, Samurott. We got the shell here, this conch shell, this clam shell, and the star flower thing. I don't know. Very well done. This is Commissions number 13 by Albert Wilson. So I think I've done this one in a previous video, but we can do it again. So the Samurott is the Hisuian Samurott mixed with Blaziken. This is apparently supposed to be a Dragonite variant. This Gardevoir mixed with Hatterene. This one is Hisuian Zorark mixed with Mega Garchomp. This is Ninetales mixed with Houndoom. This final one is Noivern, Gliscor, and Alolan Marowak. Very nice, very well done. This is Yowie by Toy Freddy SBBG, so I guess the Samurott's got a crush on Emvor. Very interesting. This is Samurott by Bloxables, so the sprite of a Samurott. This is a literature post, so we'll move on. Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. In the next official video, I'll be talking about Patrat. As always, this is my proper outfit, I'll see you tomorrow.